welcome you to our 2015 Veterans Day celebration and the dedication of this memorial for all the people who live in, work in, and visit Brunswick County. About 15 years ago, our then Police Chief Jay Kerr had a dream that the town should have a memorial to honor our veterans. About 10 years ago, I got on board that train to share that dream. And along the way, we picked up many, many supporters who have joined us to make this happen. As you can see, the dream is now a reality. Now our town park has a beautiful place to hold future Veterans Day and Memorial Day celebrations, and it's been quite a journey. And the past 2 years, which are recorded in your program, have been nothing short of an adventure for all of us. You will hear this a number of times today, and I hope you will bear with us. I'd like to thank all of you for your financial support, your technical support, your artistic support, and we, the committee, would like to thank our spouses for their moral support and their unending patience as we pull this thing together. Successful construction of the memorial was the first objective of the committee, and we're proud to say that we have done it on schedule and under budget. But we're not done. We will continue to add honorees, as some of you know who have come up and talked to me today. But we will update this memorial twice a year for Memorial Day and for Veterans Day. So if you still want to honor your loved ones or want to add a new loved one, feel free to see myself or any of the committee members later. Pick up an application to order your brick, and we will take care of it. As we get future brick donations and funds raised by the committee will be devoted to operating and maintaining this memorial. There will be no tax dollars spent on this memorial. And after all our bills are paid, we will begin a program to award financial support to organizations that provide and aid our veterans. So the dream is expanded, and now you are all part of it. We hope you enjoy it. We hope you spend many hours here in peace and in serenity. Now please stand for the presentation of the colors by the Marine League 1036 of Calabash. Remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance led by Charles Nern, the national anthem sung by our own Linda Ladrick, and the invocation by Pastor Mary Jane Wilson Parsons. Thank you for coming.
Post, color. Two. Heads, salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed Eternal and almighty God, we stand before you today to pay tribute to the brave men and women who have served their country in the armed forces. Keep our memories alive with gratitude for these who have so faithfully served. May we each remember the values and principles upon which this country was founded. Grant, we pray, joy and fulfillment to those still living. For those whose rest from their labors in your kingdom, grant your peace and eternal rest. And finally, O God, challenge us to high idealism, humility of spirit, courage and strength which comes from you, that we might glorify your name and sing your praises. Amen.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our dedication of the Veterans Memorial in the Sunset Beach Town Park. My name is Gordon Colson. I'm the chairman of the committee, a retired lieutenant colonel from the Army and a Vietnam veteran. Before we begin the program, I ask that you join me in a moment of silence for those veterans we have lost and those who continue to serve. Thank you. On the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month of 1918, an armistice, or temporary cessation of hostilities, was declared between the Allied nations and Germany during the First World War, then known as the Great War. Commemorated as Armistice Day, beginning the following year, November 11th became a legal federal holiday in the United States in 1938. In the aftermath of World War II and the Korean War, Armistice Day became Veterans Day, a holiday dedicated to American veterans of all wars. Veterans Day pays tribute to all American veterans, living or dead, but especially gives thanks to living veterans who served their country honorably during war and peacetime. That's the purpose of this memorial, to honor all veterans, living or dead, who served our country and in turn have served each of us. This memorial is a dream realized, and I must tell you that all of us on the committee are sometimes amazed at how quickly we arrive at this day. True. Our first challenge was to find a home for the memorial, and there was no question about it. The most appropriate place was right here in this beautiful town park. We made our presentation to the town council, told them we would not ask for taxpayer dollars, and negotiated the size of the memorial. Don't you agree this is a beautiful setting? A bit later, we'll officially dedicate the memorial, but I'd like to give you some background. The flag we raised today was flown over the United States Capitol on June 3rd, 2014 at the request of the Honorable Congressman Mike McIntyre, specifically for us to use at this ceremony. We're very proud to fly this flag, especially today. The centerpiece of the memorial is the pedestal with the children facing the columns, honoring the 5 armed services and the merchant marines, pledging allegiance to the flag of the United States and standing above a map of the world. The words below them, "Thank you for our freedom," are most significant. Our military women and men stationed around the world defend us and our principles each and every day. They do so willingly and with passion. They risk their lives for our freedom. They act as our ambassadors of truth, and we all should be proud of their commitment of service. As chairman, I'm proud of the commitment of the members of the committee that built this memorial. But I want you to know that our committee is also proud of you. You have made this possible. You made our dream a reality. Yes, The memorial is for all veterans with a focus on the veterans who live in, work in, or visit Brunswick County. Yes, many of you bought bricks because you personally know veterans who have kept this country free and will continue to do so throughout time. You see, our young men and women today choosing to follow in the footsteps of their fathers and mothers who have also served, they are volunteers. And by all accounts, our armed forces are the best trained and equipped to carry the fight of freedom wherever it may be. You know, that today is a very special day, and that marks the continuing remembrance of those soldiers who gave their all for this country. Many of us are the children of those men who fought in World War II. Their ranks are thinning out, but they will never be forgotten. I'd like the World War II veterans in the audience, if you could please stand so that we may thank you so much for your service, your continued support of our country. I salute you. Thank you, and now I'd like our first Vice Chairman, John Corbett, to come to the podium.
Thank you, Gordy. It is my pleasure today to introduce our guest speaker, Lieutenant General Darrell Robertson. General Robertson is the commander of the U.S. Air Force Education and Training Command based in San Antonio, Texas. As commander, he is responsible for the recruiting, training, and educating of all U.S. Air Force personnel. His command, which he took over in July this year, operates more than 1,300 aircraft and includes approximately 62,000 personnel. Or put another way, his command has about 17 times more personnel than the population of Sunset Beach. General Robertson graduated from the United States Air Force Academy in 1983 and went directly into pilot training. During his distinguished career, General Robertson has been a demonstration pilot with the world-famous Thunderbirds and a highly decorated command and combat pilot with more than 5,000 flight hours that include 865 hours in combat in 3 wars. In addition, General Robertson has served in senior Air Force and Joint Staff positions and has commanded at all levels in the Air Force. He most recently served as commander of the 3rd Air Force and 17th Expeditionary Air Force in Germany. You can find more complete details of General Robertson's illustrious career in your program for today's ceremony. But perhaps most important to us today, General Robertson is part of our Sunset Beach family. His lovely wife Cheryl and partner in his military career is a daughter of proud parents, our own Lou and Loretta DeVita. Lou is a member of the Sunset Beach Town Council, and he has been a driving force in the effort to build this Veterans Memorial. So, without further ado, please join me in thanking Cheryl for her service as a military spouse, and welcome our guest speaker, Lieutenant General Darrell Robertson. Thank you.
I want to thank everybody for being here to celebrate what has been a lot of work to make this happen. So, and I want to thank John, you too, for that introduction, and more so for your 29 and a half years of service in the United States Army as well as a veteran. Before I go any further, I'd also like to thank all the folks that actually helped make this happen today. It's been talked about briefly, but if I could I have all the people who were part of either constructing or started the idea 15 years ago, or has been working on this today or the last couple weeks to make all of this happen, would you all please stand so we can thank you for today's ceremony. Thank you all, you've done good, that's for sure. I stand before you today slightly past the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month, a humbled man. I'm humbled by the knowledge that at this very moment I am amongst giants, both in spirit and in flesh, who stood in the gap so that others may live free. giants that the good people of Sunset Beach and Brunswick County refuse to forget, refuse to neglect, or refuse to take for granted. I consider myself a very fortunate man because I am the son of a veteran. I am the son-in-law of a veteran, Lou DeVita, Sergeant, United States Army. I'm a husband to a veteran, my wife Cheryl. And probably even more proud that I am the father and the father-in-law of veterans. You can see that military service runs pretty deep in our family. The pride that I saw in my dad's eyes every day as he put his uniform on. He was 20 years Navy, retired E8. Started my own personal calling and desire to serve. But today, I serve in part because of the desire to honor veterans like all of you that are here today. We all serve because the U.S. Constitution and its ideas are worth protecting. I know that we all serve because my family and your families are just that important. So we are here today because of the brave individuals who stood behind their muskets at Valley Forge and led the charge during the American Revolution. We are here today because of the brave individuals that were committed to this nation's defense in every war and in every battle that we have been a part of. We take the time to remember these citizens that served in one of the very few professions that calls upon its members to pay the ultimate sacrifice. People who understand that freedom is not free. Our veterans never stop being airmen, soldiers, Marines, sailors, Coast Guardsmen, or Merchant Marine. Never. We may die in battle. We may separate or retire from the military. We may die of old age. But we will forever be a part of this profession of arms and this family of service members. So if you would bear with me here, I'd like to recognize some folks very specifically. And I'd like to start by asking all of our veterans who have been wounded in combat, either stand or raise your hand so we can recognize you. So glad you're with us. Now here's the next group that I'd like to recognize. I would ask that all those who have been in combat, you may not have been wounded, but you have fought for this country in combat. Stand or raise your hand, please. Would all of those who have worn this cloth of any of our services and served in our country, for our country, please stand or raise your hand so we can recognize you. Everyone, please. And then finally, what I would like to ask is, would all those family members who have also sacrificed for our veterans, please stand for a moment so we can recognize you. It was not the sound of the first gunshot at Valley Forge that made us take notice of veteran sacrifices. As has been mentioned, it was actually the quiet peace following World War I, where we finally decided that we needed to remember. That silence, which symbolized peace, served as a reminder of the sacrifices of those that fought to obtain it. It was supposed to be the world that ended all, the world war that ended all wars. The sacrifices that all folks and veterans have made should be consistently noted and frequently acknowledged by all that share the family name American. President Coolidge once proclaimed that the nation which forgets its defenders will itself be forgotten. People of Sunset Beach and Brunswick County, this monument is a testament that you won't forget our defenders. So as I prepare to step away from this podium, I thank you for your efforts in this tremendous tribute. Let's not allow the memory of those whose service preserve the ideas etched by this nation's founders to ever fade away. Those of us still serving stand on the shoulders of you brave Americans that are veterans that came before us. My pledge is that we will continue to protect our freedoms and our way of life. Thank you all.
Good afternoon. I'm Karen Joseph, second vice chairwoman of the committee, and I think I have the best assignment of all today. I get to say thank you. As you by now have sensed, we hope, today's theme is a dream realized, a dream to build this wonderful memorial. For many of us, this park is a dream realized, and without it, we wouldn't be here today for this dedication ceremony. Our dream is realized because of our supporters, and you fall into numerous categories. Some are the contractors who donated their labor, and in many cases, the materials they used to build our memorial. And I want to point out that one of our committee members, Chuck Hembold, not only secured their services, but coordinated all aspects of the building of the memorial. Now, some of our supporters are employees of the town of Sunset Beach. Our town administrator, Susan Parker, and her staff kept us in line regarding the myriad of rules from CAMA, DENR, FEMA, and every other alphabet soup state agency that oversees what may be included in this beautiful park. Our Public Works Director, Dustin Graham, and his staff moved all the bricks from the road to the memorial and the wonderful statues. The generosity of our major donors was instrumental in our reaching our goal sooner than we ever thought was possible. When you tour the memorial, you will see some of their names on the columns and the wall caps. Today's event wouldn't be possible without the generosity of the individuals and businesses listed in your program. I want to thank the volunteers and the committee members who've done so much to make this dream come true. The men on our committee, as has been mentioned, toiled for countless hours, laying all of these bricks, building ramps, and doing general maintenance. These guys may not be spring chickens, but believe me when I tell you, their hearts and souls are in every brick you see here. The heart of this memorial can be found in the engraved bricks, the wall caps, and the pillars. So many of you and others from all over the country have made this memorial possible. As of today, you have donated 606 bricks honoring veterans and their service. The words engraved on these bricks tell a story of devotion and commitment. They tell of families that have served in our military from as far back as the Civil War. You have made this memorial possible, and we, the Committee to Honor America's Veterans, promise that we will honor you and your loved ones now and in the future. We thank you from the bottom of our hearts and hope you are as proud of this memorial as we are. And now our chairman, Gordon Colson, will officially dedicate the memorial.
At this time, Navy Captain retired Flick Popesca is going to bring a wreath forward. I'm going to put the wreath in the memorial for all who have passed.
May God be near us to defend us, with us to refresh us, around us to preserve us, before us to guide us, behind us to justify us, and above us to keep us from all evil. Amen.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. I know you were anxious to tour the memorial, but we ask that you give us a few minutes for some photos to be taken for our archive. So please be seated, or we can start heading for chow. How's that? Thank you very much, everybody coming. Thank you very much. In essence, today is very humble. I think we had somewhere in the neighborhood of almost 1,000 people here. No taxpayer dollars spent, all done by grassroots, selling the bricks, going to different festivals, out and about with the community, asking what's our only way to do this. When we really got going and settled, we found that there were grants. BEMC, Brunswick Electric Membership Corporation, gave us our first grant. And then we got another grant from them this year, 2015, and we also applied for the ATMC grant, and we got a $2,000 grant there. And it's not only Sunset Beach, this is just the location, but we did it because Brunswick County has so many veterans in it. A memorial like this, they will come to it, they will pay for a brick. They see what can be done, where their money went, and what it's going, what it's really doing is helping everybody in the community here. Thanks to Sunset Beach and all the people that participated to do this, and especially to all the people that came out for our dedication ceremony today.